uh, to talk about what we feel about uh, the game just happened. The first preseason game under Ten Hag just happened. So that's what we are going to discuss. I think AJ is also here. Um,
Good evening.
Hi, good
Good
evening.
evening. Yes.
Yes. So we will just talk about that, and then we will talk about the transfers and all these stuffs that's been happening. Hasn't happened yet, but hopefully, uh, few things might get happen. Um, so, uh, so Alan, what's your thoughts about the first game? Like, what did you feel like?
Yeah, it was refreshing, and it was a brilliant watch. To be honest, we were able to see whatever Ten Hag was trying to apply outside the game. Yesterday, we saw different kinds of training sessions, especially single rondos and then double, triple rondos, and then seeing how team was able to approach different kinds of systems in terms of defense as well as attack. And so in today's game, the thing was everyone was looking really fresh, and most of them they had something to prove themselves. So it's important for most players to uh, you know uh, bring themselves to another level, and that's what we saw. Players like Anthony Martial and Eric Bailly, they had some game today in terms of their performances, and I'm happy. Uh, I'm looking forward to discuss more on today's game.
Okay, I don't think AJ you watched the game because you are working, uh, but you might have heard the score line. So what do you feel about that?
Yes, it's like uh, I was before the match, to be honest. Even though it's we were going, so it was like I was
I
scared.
think I think you have
After
AJ you have some voice issues that
really,
we are getting your voice break. Uh,
oh,
can you just join again after
I
going
will
off?
try and rejoin again.
Yeah. Um, so one Paul Anthony just commented that Man United without Ronaldo 0 trophies in 5 years. Man United with Ronaldo one trophy in 1 year. But Ronaldo wasn't there, bro. I think he's still in Portugal. I don't know. Um, let's see. Probably you can change that. Man United without Ten Hag 0 trophies in 5 years, and Man United with Ten Hag 1 trophy in one game. That would be the most appropriate comment. Tafim is asking about Zidane Iqbal. I felt he played really well. He's very confident on the ball. That's the thing that strikes you. But the problem I feel from the Zidane Iqbal is because he's young, his upper body strength is not yet fully developed. So that's always the problem with the young players coming up. So we had the same problem when Garner came into the first team also. So that's why he had to go on loan and develop that. So I think Zidane might have to do the same thing, or like he might stay this year at United, then go to a loan on next year or something like that. It depends on Ten Hag, uh, because few times he was physically bullied, especially when he was playing against the first teamers of Liverpool, like against the likes of Fabinho, Thiago, and all. So he was physically bullied. But technically very good player, and he's brave to do, like he's brave to approach the ball and like take possession of the ball, and so not just about Zidane Iqbal. I would say if you are mentioning Zidane Iqbal, then you have to mention Charlie Savage also. So he was also really good. In my point of view, I think I was more impressed with Charlie Savage because his positioning and his what is it? His understanding of the game is really good. Like he was covering for Tellus to cover for someone at such an young age and probably your first preseason tournament and playing against such a huge crowd. That shows the guy's mentality. So I was more impressed with Charlie Savage, and he was particularly doing that Dijon kind of role. So that was really good from Charlie Savage. But if you talk about first half, I do think, as I said, apart from the scoreline, one thing I have to say, like one thing I tweeted out few things in my Twitter account that after first half, this is what like we were not afraid to have the ball. That's the first thing. Like, but if you compare last season, we were very afraid to have the ball. We don't know what to do with when we have the ball. But here it is not like that. We clearly know what to do with the ball when we have the ball, and our build up from the back is really good. So they have developed a certain already ingrained in them that you keep possession and you be brave about it to keep the ball. So I think keeping that much ball against a Liverpool side, even though eventual stats, if you see, Liverpool has more ball possession because Liverpool first team played almost 20 minutes or 30 minutes at last leg of the game, and that was against our B team, and they were able to keep the ball more. But if you see in the first half, we were keeping the ball more, and that too against that Liverpool side. Uh, they can argue that that was their B team, but still, even if that is a B team of Liverpool, it shows that this is our first game under Ten Hag, and we were not looking at the opposition. We were looking at what we can do, and we were able to keep the ball, and we were able to build up these phases, build up these attacking things, or build up from the back. So if you compare last season, leave Liverpool, we were not able to do this even against small teams. Like we were struggling to do this even against small teams. So that was really encouraging. The major surprising thing was David De Gea. I have to say, like in this channel itself, we have uh, clearly said lot of things about David De Gea and how he is not a modern goalkeeper, and how we want a modern goalkeeper in Ten Hag system to do that. Uh, so Ajit is asking about Malayalam. The problem is, Ajit, like there are few people who regularly watches this, and they want it in English, so they can understand also. The thing is, we will do Malayalam uh, in particular episode, which we will mention before and then do. So usually all these match day stuff, if we do, we don't. I don't think we will regularly do the match day stuff, but whenever we do, it will be in English. We will we will give out the information that it will be in Malayalam when we before our social media handle and everything. So what I was saying that David De Gea was the huge surprise because um, he came off the lane, and me and Alan was discussing that newness thing. Like he literally came off the line and caught the ball. That he doesn't even do that like last
Yeah.
season. He was almost at the end of the goalkeeper thing, and he caught the ball. So he literally came off the and distribution was really good. Apart from second half, he knows that he is playing with the kids, so he doesn't. Obviously, Talas was playing as one of the CBs, so
Yeah.
he doesn't trust to give it to Talas. So he was kicking it low. But apart from that, his distribution was very good. He was even people were going for him. Like last season and all, people were afraid to go back to De Gea because you never know what he will do. But this time around, I think a lot of people were keeping him as an option. So that and all, as that actually came up from the training, and actually already they have created a trust among themselves that De Gea can do this. So that was one of the major thing, and I think we are not yet at the physical level needed for to play that tempo
Yep.
that Ten Hag. So by 30th minute or something, almost all of them were gone. Actually, Rashford was like this by 30th minute
Yep.
doing it. And you see after 45 minutes, Marshall was puffing real like before going, like Marshall was like down, he sat on the ground and he was like puffing for air. So we were not even close to the physical level needed for playing the system of Ten Hag. But that much because the tempo we played in, that is needed, and you might have seen a lot of things about like pressing. We were pressing really good, and it's not about we did press against Ole, um, and we did press against press in like RAF under RAF, but the difference is uh, I, in Ole we don't press high, so we tend to allow two CBs to play. Then when they make the pass, we press.
Yep.
But under Raf, he told to press, but it did happen in one or two games, and after that it didn't happen.
Yep.
And there was no pressing trigger. Bruno presses, no one presses together, and it breaks down.
Hmm.
But here it is clearly coordinated. Marshall goes to press, then Rashford and Sancho goes to press, then Bruno, Fred goes to press, and even if after they play also two fullback goes to press, McTominay goes to press. So the pressing is happening all over the pitch. But still, this has been discussed earlier when I told that it's very easy to break that press if they play a very long ball and go for counter. And
Hmm.
that did happen in the game a lot of times. That will keep on happening, and we will lose some games like that because that's part of Ten Hag system. And uh, unless and until when we master this pressing, uh, this that will keep on happening for initial days,
Yep.
initial 6 months or 7 months. This will keep happening. We will lose one or two or two to four, five, 6 games based on this counter thing, or we will concede goals based on this counter thing. So that will happen. But these are all the things that I and one other thing that we had a huge discussion about how this 3+1 he will do. So we were thinking that Timber comes in and he will play as a third CB. But his first two starting fullbacks were Shaw and Dalot, and
Done.
both were attacking.
Hmm. True.
So he is not really going for that third CB from fullback thing. What we saw was McTominay dropping in as a CB,
Yep.
and in second half Charlie Savage dropping in as a CB.
Yeah. True.
So that's the three. So whenever we get the Frank De Jong deal over the line,
Yeah. If he comes.
yeah, if he comes,
Yes.
Yep.
he will drop to the one of the as the one of the three CB thing. I think he will be the unless and until he goes for the progression of the ball, he will drop in as a third CB, and one among and we also saw that when one fullback is attacking, another one stays back. So he will drop to the midfield and he will cover the 3+1. So that will be the 3+1. So I think that is what he's going to do, and we also saw why he preferred Dalot over AVP.
Yep.
That was pretty evident. Uh, Basically, he wants players who are comfortable with the ball, who can play with the ball. AJ, I
Another
think
thing, yeah.
you're, yeah,
Another thing is we haven't seen Ethan Laird yet in the preseason. So once
yeah,
he comes into the team, there'll be more competition for the right back spot. So that'll be interesting to see how Ten Hag will shift the flanks accordingly. And then another thing about this game is that I felt, for me personally, the second half was much better than the first half because, in terms of coming together as a team, I felt that's more evident when it comes to the team defending rather than attacking. When a team attacks, the midfield as well as the forward line, they press as well as win the ball back and try to circulate the ball in different directions and come together. That's how we see a team building. But when it comes to defense, they need to know the spacing as well as they have to understand each other within the team. Especially Teles and Bai were our center backs. Bai had a fantastic game. Teles not wasn't great, but like you said earlier, Krishnan, regarding Charlie Savage coming in and covering the space, that shows the understanding in the game. And I felt the young players, they were able to learn Ten Hag's principle in a much more quicker manner than our older players. I think um, that is another thing because when we saw Iqbal, Donny, as well as Charlie Savage play. Um, Both Iqbal as well as Savage, that midfield too, they really surprised me with the
Dhoni
way.
had a very Dhoni had a very underwhelming game.
Yeah,
I didn't like Dhoni.
yeah, Donny was pretty poor in my
Yeah,
opinion. He couldn't control as much, and due to that, the front three had to struggle a bit, especially in gaining possession. But when it came to defending, especially reading the game, when Liverpool, tried to divert the pass onto the to a wider direction and then come inside, we were able to see Bai as well as Savage and Iqbal, come into those right positions and mark each other. So this is what we want to see, delaying the approach from an opposition player in such a way that we regroup as a compact team. This helps us to defend more as a team rather than as individuals,
yeah.
which is the main issue why we considered too many goals last season. But now we are seeing that principle being ingrained into the team. So hopefully, when we play more and more games in the preseason, um, all the players, they'll start understanding the concepts behind defending together as a team. And his training exercises, I read a few of articles from Ducker as well as Whitwell. Most of them were talking about how Ten Hag was commanding or taking charge of those training sessions along with Wandega and Steve McLaren. And it just shows you how much of a this it shows you this game just tells you how much of an improvement different unique training sessions can bring into this team.
Yeah, I would really say that in a offensive point of view, the first half was good, but in a defensive point of view, the second half was good, um, because we did concede a lot of chances. They had three
Yeah,
shots bouncing off the post,
post.
so in a different day they could have scored three goals,
Yep,
and we couldn't have done nothing about it, and. In a different day, we could have scored more also. Like we had chances.
that's true.
Rashford had a chance, which was
Elanga had
blocked
a good
off.
chance.
Yeah, Elanga had a good chance, and I think even some Sancho had a chance. Dalot shot was
Dallo
just,
as well. Yeah,
yeah, came off the post. So we had chances also. I'm not saying that we didn't deserve the result, but what I'm saying is we still had problems. I think that's what Eric was referring at the end of the game also, saying that there were mistakes. This is far from we don't get overboard with this result.
correct.
Uh, so the same thing he was saying also, like he was thinking the same thing, like we did allow a few of those attacks to go on, and hopefully we have lined up some additions. With that, there might be few of the like we will go to another level of because those players will be more ingrained to what Ten Hag wants to do. Uh, because they know his system well. So we are targeting players like players that who has played under Ten Hag.
Yep.
So who knows Ten Hag well, and who has trained under Ten Hag, and who is like someone like Ericsson who is really good at the ball. Like what Ericsson brings is like it's very hard to get ball of Ericsson feet.
Yep.
He just keeps ball. So that's what Ericsson brings to the team. He doesn't lose the ball. He's a Mata kind of player. So
Yep.
Mata doesn't really lose the ball. You wouldn't
Yes.
you will only rarely see Mata losing the ball because he's that good at the ball. So I think Ericsson is that kind of player with more of a pace and all this thing.
Yeah, another
Yeah,
thing about Ericsson is that he'll give us that vision. Earlier, I think people
yeah.
were expecting that element from Paul Pogba. Some of his games we were able to see that from Pogba, but then not consistently. But in case of Ericsson, when he played for Brentford, his vision, like the type of passes that he wanted to play in the team, like finding his teammates in what do you say, congested areas. I think you need that kind of a creativity in the team in order to thrive against low block oppositions. So that'll really help us.
Also, this another misguided thing about Ericsson, people think is like they only think about his Spurs stint.
Yeah,
They don't think about what he did after his Spurs. Like at Inter Milan under Conte, he was a central midfield player.
true.
He wasn't a 10 or he wasn't playing at the wings. So then after came into Brentford also, he was playing as a CM. He wasn't playing as a 10.
Yes.
So he was playing as a CM. So I do think Ten Hag will use him, and as and when he is signed, we will see where he will use him. My prediction is he will use him at midfield itself. I don't think he will be a. He can play as a 10. He will be used there. He can play in both wings. He will be used there also. But I think Eric Ten Hag wouldn't be afraid to use him in the midfield also. So uh, we will see whenever. I think we will just give an update that I think everyone knows uh, the deal is getting a bit late because he had to go through a stringent procedure of medicals because of his condition, and that has to be done. That is PL rules, so we have to abide by that. And apart from that, there is nothing else. Once that is done, I think they will announce this, and we expect him to join the Australian leg of preseason.
Yes.
So that's the thing regarding Ericsson. I hope AJ's audio thing is fixed. Uh, Speak something, AJ.
Uh,
We would love to hear.
I think
Yeah,
are
now
you
it's
able to
fixed. Come
hear
on.
now? It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because of the
Go.
different rooms. The inconvenience, first of all. Uh, uh, Seen the ends of the match, and it was amazing, especially on the first half. It was a goals galore. So I'm so all
Yeah.
started in a
I still
like
think there is some break when you say we were able to hear most of this thing, but
Yeah.
few breaks are there. Uh,
the
we don't. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Eh, Can you just
okay.
yeah? Can you just off your AirPod and then on it again? I think it is something related to the audio thing.
I think it's because of the Wi-Fi thing. We here not good, so there is a bit
Oh,
it's because of that
okay.
troubled.
Okay, it's
Let me
it's
try
really hard.
across fixing it up. I'm sorry, guys. Have a discussion
Yeah,
on the next time. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Bye. Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
So, um, so I think we mostly covered about everything about this match, right?
Yeah.
And we have to tell that we won the first cup.
Yeah. Bangkok Century Cup.
Yeah,
Uh,
champions of Bangkok Century Cup.
yeah. Another thing about Facundo Pellistri, it's a it's a motivation from him for him to get that goal in the second half, and
Yeah, yeah,
it was a brilliant play from Eric by carrying the ball
yeah.
up from the deep and then passing it to Pellistri, and then Pellistri goes to Ahmad, and then Ahmad cuts inside with a short pass to the left, and then Pellistri scores directly. It was a brilliant goal, and I had
But
message. Yeah,
I'm kind of majorly disappointed with the all of the attackers in the second half,
yeah.
including Ahmad, Pelistri, Elanga, and Dhoni.
I
Uh,
think um, I
you
wasn't
could say
completely. Yeah, I
you could
wasn't.
say
Yep,
Elanga was okay, and Pelistri was good for the goal.
yep,
But I was majorly disappointed with Dhoni. I expected more from Dhoni. I
correct.
expected more from Amat. It wasn't there. And Pelistri, apart from the goal, didn't do anything. Like in my opinion, he
Okay.
was bullied off the ball most of the time, and basically that's it. I was more impressed with Charlie Savage, Sildin Iqbal, Tyler Malaysia. Malaysia was really good,
Yep,
and Eric Bai. Uh, these four I was majorly impressed in the second half, and Tellus didn't do much and didn't do any blunders also.
yep,
So I expected a Tellus blunder, but it didn't happen. So brownie points for him for that.
correct. Yeah.
Uh, so that's my thing. Like,
Think Ten Hag wanted to try a left footer and see how it works out, right?
yeah,
I think that's the reason why they tried Alex Telles as one of the centre backs in the
yeah,
second half.
yeah, yeah.
And another thing about the
I think
forwards,
when
yeah,
if and when Martinez is coming, Tellus will be out.
yeah, I think he'll most probably leave by the before deadline day.
Yeah,
Yeah, and coming to the forward line in the first half, I think Sancho had a he had a rough start, but then when he got the goal, we could see that confidence brimming inside him. And uh, yeah, and Paul Anthony is talking about Liverpool. I think Liverpool, Klopp was saying that they didn't have many training sessions, but I cannot consider that as an excuse to as a valid excuse, because he was the person who
no,
said in
there is
BBC interview that when you're playing a preseason game against Manchester United, it cannot be seen as a friendly. It was
but
Klopp was the one who said this, and then when he loses, he'll change the narrative.
no,
So
everyone will say that, but it's just their first preseason game.
yeah,
I'm sure that they will
definitely,
probably,
yeah,
yeah,
uh,
they will probably get their act together and probably challenge City for the
correct,
title again.
yeah,
This is not a Liverpool channel, so I don't have to praise them. If you want, there are a lot of other channels who does that. Uh, and I don't think I don't think they are much bothered about it also. Like I didn't see them. I didn't really look into them. I was looking at more to us, like how we play and how we do. It is interesting for us because this is the first game of Ten Hag. That's why
that's
there
right,
was this much of interest. It's
yeah,
not because we are playing Liverpool. I think we even if we played any team like Melbourne City or whatever, there will be still the same thing we will be doing because we don't know what system he will play. We don't know what. In Liverpool, I think the first half that both fullback were really good.
they were Mbaya, right? One of them,
Yeah, yeah. And
um,
Carvalho was
Carvalho
the signing they
from
got
Fulham.
from Fulham.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that Empire was the one the commentator referred as. Aaron Van Bissaka with flair or something like that.
Yeah, with more attacking player, something.
More attacking something. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was a very it was an unnecessary comment in my opinion. I felt it was I think it was Jim Beglin who said that. So yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
surprising coming from his mouth. And
Yeah, but both were good.
yep,
And Nunes was bad. I have to say that.
yep,
Uh, but then Klopp said he only had three session or whatever. I don't know. I
that
don't
his
follow Liverpool that
lungs were
much.
bursting out, something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I only follow Liverpool for FPL reasons, and I know which FPL players to pick from them. So I don't really have to follow Liverpool that much. So um, I don't know, like whatever lines he has to bust, but that Salah's shot and that rebound thing he has to. No length has to be busted to bury that.
Yeah.
Uh, that's it. Simple tapping.
Initially,
Um,
I thought Eric Bai blocked that shot, but
no, he
when I
didn't.
saw the replay, it was the
Yeah,
other way around. Yeah.
yeah. Eric Bai slid into it, but it should have been finished. I would most certainly bet Haaland will finish that,
Yep.
and that will probably the difference between Liverpool and City. So you got your Liverpool thing. Uh, so I don't think so. Is the Tafimi is asking, is there is any hope for Aaron Van Bissaka? I don't really think so because there was few reports that Tetag is open to see what he can do, uh, but it is chalk and cheese. You can literally see first half how Delo played, and second half how Van Bissaka played. So Van Bissaka struggles with ball, and Delo is very comfortable in the ball. So unless he changes that, Van Bissaka changes and show uh, Ten Hag and us that in this preseason itself that he can be the one who is very comfortable on the ball. He can do all this. Delo is yes, he has really bad. Some of his defensive things are really bad, but he is very comfortable on the ball. That's the thing that I showed. Like whenever he has the position of the ball, he knows where to play. He knows how to pick a pass, progression of the ball. That and all is coming from Delo. So I don't think Van Bissaka. I wouldn't be. I would much surprised if Layard didn't get a chance in this preseason as a backup for Melo, and it wasn't really surprising that Van Bissaka is on the list of players that we will listen for offers.
Yep.
So there are couple tellers. I think we will do Van Bissaka, Bailey, despite his performance today. I think his performance today probably net us some 10 million. Um, so uh, Bailey, obviously Jones, Tonsebe. I think Tonsebe is injured, but we will also listen to offers for him. So these are the players I think we will try and move them on, and that will probably get us something around 30 to 35 million. That will be added to the kitty, and after so we now we are into 30 minutes, Alan. We will just discuss the transfers thing and just
Yep.
because we already covered everything about the match. The next match is in Melbourne. I think next match is in Australia. I don't know whether it is in Melbourne, but it is against
It's
Melbourne
against
City.
yeah,
Yeah. So
Melbourne. Yeah,
hope
City.
it is against Melbourne City. So hopefully it will be in Melbourne.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So
Melbourne victory. Melbourne victory. That's the team.
that's the team. Melbourne
Yeah.
Victory. Okay. So
We'll
it's
be playing at MCG.
okay. So that's Melbourne only, I think. So next match is that, and we we will try and come after that game. We will try come analyzing the game. Let's see. Like we are not making any promise that after every match day we will come live, because all of us are working and it may not be really possible. But we will try and cover mostly. And so the transfers, Alan, what is happening regarding FDJ?
Yeah.
Will it happen? What's the problem really? And I think what we discussed about Barca is still doing rounds. Like they have literally held up the transfer market.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, regarding Frankie De Jong, it's clearly clear from the news reports that both United and Barcelona have already agreed the fee. That is, we have already agreed the initial fee, and maybe there is some discussion regarding the add-ons. But in my opinion, I think that won't be a big issue. It's something which can be sorted, and I think it's already sorted. It's not being
Yeah.
briefed to the media. And the current problem that's coming out is that we are hearing contrary reports from both the English media as well as Spanish media. Spanish media saying that Frankie De Jong doesn't want to leave Barcelona for United. While
Did you see that sport? 10 reasons that Frank De Jong will
yeah,
reject.
yeah, yeah, I saw that, and they were mentioning the weather in Manchester as one of the reasons why
Yeah, yeah,
De
yeah.
Jong is not interested
Funny
to come.
man.
Yeah, but the thing is, Spanish media are trying to conceal the real issues that are taking place at Barcelona, because the initial signs came from a report published by Luis Rojo, a Barcelona correspondent for pro Madrid based paper, Marca. Marca is a pro Real Madrid based paper, and so they are able to leak all the issues pertaining to Barcelona. And what they said is that um, Barca have to pay wages, deferred wages from because in 2022, sorry 2020, De Jong and Barca came to an agreement on deferring his wages. That is taking a wage cut for 2 years, and then once the pandemic uh, moves away, and once the situation starts getting better, which is right now, he'll start getting back those profits and those wages from earlier seasons. So I think if I remember correctly, last season he got something like 4 million, and then the season after that he got 9 million, where he was supposed to earn around 16 or 17 million.
I think to cut a story short, I think they have to pay around 17 million
Yeah,
in deferred wages to De Jong.
yeah.
So that's
The thing
the
is,
due
yeah,
amount.
De Jong has 4 years left on his contract, and according to if we add all the deferred wages, it will come across around 88 million euros in total, including the bonuses and the which is entitled in which a percentage is entitled to his agent as well. So currently, the issue here is that if De Jong wants to leave the club, he has to write off his wages, like the remaining which needs to be paid. But De Jong is saying that he won't leave Barcelona unless and until Barca pay the deferred
The deferred
wages
wage.
from last season upfront. That is around 17 million pounds. And unless and until a settlement is takes place between Barcelona and Frankie De Jong regarding this 17 million pounds, the transfer will stay held up. Uh, it is at an impasse at the moment, but um, I hope that in the next few weeks some sort of a breakthrough happens. Otherwise, I think United will walk away from this deal.
Yeah. So yesterday, I think some of the briefing that coming out from United side was they were willing to go till Friday this
Yeah.
week, and if that doesn't happen between like by this week, they will simply walk away from this deal, and I think they can convince EDH also, like Ten Hag also, even though it's his priority signing, they can go to Ten Hag and say that okay, we tried, we agreed the fee, we agreed everything with Barca. we agreed everything with the players regarding personal terms and all. But even though people are saying it isn't agreed, it isn't agreed, uh, I would just say that United as a club aren't that much stupid to go 10 weeks into a deal without knowing that the player said yes. So the player has said yes. Yes, his priority is to stay at Barca, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to come to United.
Yep.
Uh, if you can keep him at because whenever I say something in Twitter, all these Barca fan comes and do all
They'll
this
start attacking
nonsense.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, attacking us. So I don't know. Like you guys probably should inside rather than outside uh, with your issues. Mm, and if you are in a financial predicament and you are going for 50 million Lewandowski and 70 million Rafinha, then I don't have anything to say. Like, look at it, what you are doing. So that's the thing to Barca fans. Uh, so I'm saying like this might get done, and we may have to increase our not the overall bid thing, but we may have to increase the initial payment,
Yeah.
whatever we have to, so
We might
that they
have
can,
to, yeah, we might have to
yeah,
contribute to that 17 million.
yeah,
Um,
17 million.
certain percentage should be contributed by us, Barcelona, and then Frankie will have to compromise a bit as well in order to.
Yeah, yeah. I understand from Frankie's viewpoint because he hasn't thought about leaving Barca at all, and suddenly he has to leave. The
Yeah.
club wants to kick him out, and he is thinking from his point of view that to stay here because I love this club. I have deferred all these wages. I have taken a wage cut, and after all this, you want me to go out. So why should I make that concession? I want my full money. Then I will go out. So I can understand from his point of view where he's coming from. But then I still don't understand how the football people, football finance people, uh, the La Liga, who is touted as one of the major financial, really good financial thing going on in La Liga, like regulation. And then how are they allowing a football club to spend or willing to spend that much on new players without paying off their existing employee wages?
Yep.
That's the if you are known, like if you are studied financial thing and all, if a company goes into liquidation, the priority debt is employee pay.
Yep.
And um, how are they allowing Barca to do this? If they can go bid 70 million to Rafina, even though it is a very structured deal, whatever it is, it's still you are saying you will pay 70 million, right?
Yep.
You pay now or you pay in future, like still I don't think anyone would accept a bid that is fully futuristic. So
Correct.
there is something that you are paying now,
Yep.
and how are you bidding that amount without clearing your existing employee dues? That is the question I have, and I still haven't got any realistic answers from Barca fans. Like they just go on about abusing you rather than saying anything.
Yep.
So
Another thing is, Barca are taking this action over Frankie De Jong because he isn't a Spanish player. They cannot
yeah,
take the
they
same
cannot touch
action on.
Gavi. Yeah,
Yeah, they cannot take the same action on someone like
not
Gerard Piqué.
Spanish players.
Yeah,
Yeah, not only Spanish players. They cannot because the others are La Masia products.
correct. Yeah, La
So
Masia.
you cannot, yeah, you cannot touch a Gavi, you cannot touch a Pedri. That so they
They
have
can't do
to,
anything with Busquets as well.
yeah, they can't do anything with Busquets. So they have to move on Frank De Jong, and only if Frank De Jong is moved, they can register people. They still haven't registered Christensen and Casey. So how in the name of God, I don't know. We don't have to discuss Barcelona much. I
Yeah.
hope this Frank De Jong gets done, and that clubs do
Yeah.
whatever they want to
at,
do.
at the end of the day, United want to buy Frankie De Jong. Barcelona, they are desperate to sell this player. So,
Yeah,
uh, the direction is going along
one
the
way.
same, yeah, same line. Like as one of the Dutch journalists said, the train is moving in the direction towards Manchester United for Frankie De Jong. That's how it looks. Once this deferred wage payment is settled, I think that's when we start seeing the movements regarding a breakthrough or a imminent transfer. Right now, I don't believe that a transfer is imminent, but we are trying our best to do, in order to solve the issues. Maybe we may not be able to get quick answers, but at least some sort of an assurance that it will be resolved by the end of July, something like that. Maybe at least if we get some sort of an answer like that, then it would be fine. I think that's why they've kept a tentative deadline
Yeah.
for Barca to do this deal.
And the Alex Lukov talk sport,
Yeah,
he has said that we have alternatives, and few names mentioned was Ruben Neves and Yuri Telemans, and
Telemans.
even I have heard that, like I
Yeah,
think I have shared that names to Alan and all one month, or like when the Frank De Jong thing break, I shared a five players list or something with Alan, that these will be the alternative. So I think so. Like, but the problem with the Ruben Neves, Yuri Tillmans, all these things is they have to come under Ten Hag and they have to adjust themselves. So and Ten Hag also adjust himself also, like his style of play according to, like, Tillemans has a very different way of playing, very different strength to Frank De Jong, and Ruben Neves has a very different strength to Frank De Jong. Even Tillemans and Ruben Neves is different. So all of these are different players. So I understand why they are going after Frank De Jong, but hopefully it gets done. Yeah. So the next player is Lisandro Martinez. I hope this would get done last Friday. I actually messaged in our group that this is done on last Friday, but it didn't happen. I think Ajax agreed all these things with us and then went and moved the goalpost. So, what is the latest update regarding Martinez?
yeah.
Um,
So, few hours back, Charles Watt, Arsenal correspondent for Goal.com, had written an article saying that United are pushing to complete this deal, and Arsenal have cooled their interest in the player. It doesn't mean that they have backed out. Arsenal have backed out, but it's just saying that United have come to the pole position and they are strengthening their bid for Lisandro Martinez, and the player is also pushing from his end. What he's saying in his article is that Ajax are willing to reach a compromise on this deal because the player has already put in a transfer request informally, and he wants to leave. So since the player has set his wishes straight to the club hierarchy, they have no other choice but to consider
I
his
was not,
wishes.
I'm not surprised. Okay,
Yeah,
nothing. We cannot put Martinez down because when the transfer window started,
yeah,
I will tell you that Martinez and his agent went to Ajax and said that there are interest from clubs. What will be the price that you will be willing to sell? They said 50 million euros,
yeah,
and that's what United bid. Then Ajax moved that. Ajax started asking 55 and 60. That would be really bad for them.
yeah,
Okay, this
correct.
is, I'm not saying out of spite or anything, but once you agree a fee with player that you will be sold at this, and when a club bank comes and bid that, you have to sell him.
Yeah,
There is no really other way, because you cannot then say that no, you are worth more to us, you are going only on 60. That is like changing goalpost. If
yeah,
you do that, uh, like this window, it would be fine and all, like you may get the money, but there will be talks start going on in the circles. that
Mhm.
these people are not reliable.
Yeah, correct.
So that will happen, and that is very bad for others. And I hope we get this done
Yeah,
one way or another. He's a really good player, very versatile player.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
I have another update regarding Lisandro. It's
yeah,
from an Argentinian correspondent. He's pretty reliable. His name
yeah,
is
yeah,
Cesar Luis Merlo. He
yeah. I
works
know
for
that.
an outlet called TYC Sports. It's one of the most reliable outlets in Argentina. So what he's saying is that Ajax have started negotiating with another left-footed centre back from Ukraine uh,
Yeah,
before the imminent departure of Lisandro, and he's saying that he's
Shakhtar,
expecting,
right?
yeah, from Shakhtar.
Yeah.
I think it's Myolenko or something, or
Yeah, yeah. He was linked to United in
during
January or yeah.
during Ole's reign, right?
Always right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I remember that. And then Cesar Luis Merlo is his next update is that he's expecting United to push their latest offer in the next few hours. The last offer was 45 plus 5. He's expecting it to be, around 50 million euros guaranteed. The next offer, and Arsenal are,
I didn't think we would do that. I certainly didn't think we'd do that. But
yeah,
if we are doing that, then fine. Like we are literally agreeing to their asking price. They
yeah,
cannot really say that you haven't. Because with 45 to 5 also, they can say that we said to Lisandro that 50 million guaranteed.
yeah,
And they haven't guaranteed 50 million. They have only guaranteed 45. If we really bid 50 million guaranteed, then they cannot really say that to Lisandro that no, we wouldn't sell you. Like
correct.
that would be really bad. They have to accept that.
Yeah, I think it's about the payment structure. Maybe even if United bid 50 million, um, I guess it's going to be
Yeah.
mostly in installments. So it'll
No,
be flex.
I think even Ajax know that Lisandro is gone.
Yeah, they're trying to
The
milk
one
as much as possible from who's
not
there.
only milk, they are trying that they are saying to Ten Hag that you can take Lisandro, but don't come back for more.
Yeah,
So they are literally saying don't come back for
Anthony.
Anthony, and don't come back for Timber for 1 year.
Yeah,
This is what their message is. Otherwise, if they accepted that bid on Friday, uh, they literally know that ETH will come back for Anthony.
yeah.
So they don't want that.
Not only
And
Anthony, even Edson Alvarez is also one of
yeah,
the
Edson
stars.
Alvarez, yeah, one of the. So they don't want that, and probably they don't want us to go after Timber in January when the World Cup is over,
Yep,
and when Van Gaal cannot do anything because he would have stepped down from Netherlands manager post, and Timber would be really okay to move. So they don't probably want that to do that in the January. Also, they want him for the whole season.
hmm,
So that's the message they are giving out. That's why I think we certainly got involved with that robbery thing also, robbery
correct.
or whatever. I think that's the ETH way of sending them message that I can do stuff that
Yeah,
will hamper you also. So
it
just
was it was a political play.
yeah.
We
So
know that he's going to Ajax for sure. Robbery. Uh, the issue between Ajax and Leipzig is that it's not that Ajax cannot pay the release clause, but the issue is um, Robbery's agent is entitled to a significant percentage of a fee or commission. So Ajax are not willing to pay that. That's why the Brian Brobby deal is at a standstill, and United are trying to exploit it. But I don't think we'll get it.
yeah, so that's the two deals, and plus Ericsson. I think those are the deals that we are working on, and all other things depends upon what happens with Ronaldo. The forward thing and everything depends upon what happens with Ronaldo. I think
Yeah.
if Ronaldo was, I certainly think they will try for a striker or a forward. So we will see. So that's it. I think we have covered everything. We'll probably end up, and Okay, so I'm just switching to Malayalam now for one bit of thing. That we have a comment here in Malayalam. So this is it, guys. So thanks, and we will probably come live later on in the week after the second game, somewhere with updates and hopefully if any signings come and signings is announced, we will do a live certainly on that day itself, and that will be in Malayalam.
Definitely.
Definitely. And so I'm just switching like നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ ഒരു യുണൈറ്റഡ് സ്റ്റാൻഡ് പോലത്തെ ചാനൽ വേണം, മലയാളത്തിലാണ് സംസാരമെങ്കിൽ ഇന്ററാക്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇന്ററാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ ഒരു കുഴപ്പമില്ല. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മലയാളത്തിൽ ഇവിടെ ചാറ്റിൽ അടിച്ചോളൂ. ലൈക്ക് വി വിൽ നമ്മൾ സെറ്റൻലി അതിന് റിപ്ലൈ ചെയ്യും. ദ തിങ് ഈസ് നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെ തുടങ്ങിയത്, നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെയാണ് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്. ബട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് കിട്ടിയെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരുപാട് അതർ ആൾക്കാർക്ക്, മലയാളം അല്ലാത്ത ആൾക്കാർക്ക് നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയുമ്പോൾ മനസ്സിലാവുന്നില്ല. സോ ദേ നീഡ് സബ് ടൈറ്റിൽ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സബ് ടൈറ്റിൽ ആഡ് ചെയ്യുക എന്നുള്ളത് നമുക്ക് ലിറ്ററലി ഇമ്പോസിബിൾ ആണ്. സോ അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് സ്വിച്ച് ചെയ്തത്. ബട്ട് സ്റ്റിൽ വി ആർ ഡൂയിങ് മലയാളം എപ്പിസോഡ്സ് ആൾസോ. ലൈക്ക് എപ്പോഴും സൈനിങ്സ് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ ടൈറ്റിലിൽ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട് ഏതൊക്കെയാണ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് എപ്പിസോഡ്, ഏതൊക്കെയാണ് മലയാളം എപ്പിസോഡ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിൽ. സോ നമ്മുടെ ഹാൻഡിൽ നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അപ്പോൾ അതിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ട്വീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ പറയും ഇത് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലാണ്, ഇത് മലയാളത്തിലാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. സോ അതിനനുസരിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇത് ചെയ്യാം. കാരണം ഇത് എല്ലാവരെയും മലയാളികളെ മാത്രമല്ല, അപ്പോൾ ബാക്കിയുള്ളവർക്കും മനസ്സിലാവണം എന്നുള്ള ഇതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിലേക്ക് സ്വിച്ച് ചെയ്തത്. മോസ്റ്റ്ലി ഫോർ ഡിസ്കഷൻ. നമുക്ക് മലയാളത്തിലും ചെയ്യണോണ്ട് നമുക്ക് വലിയ പ്രശ്നമൊന്നുമില്ല. ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിലും ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് എപ്പിസോഡ്. സോ അതൊക്കെ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് നിർത്താല്ലേ അല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു ഗൈസ്, താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്. അഡിയോസ്, ബൈ.
Yes, bye.
Bye.